Wagwan and welcome to another episode of Oh Beach Please Live. As always, I'm your host and owner of 208 Travel Agency, Jay Noller. This week, we're going to cover one of my favorite activities in the Caribbean. As an avid scuba diver with hundreds of dives, one of my favorite activities to take part in while on vacation, of course, diving in the Caribbean. Because of this, I'm going to welcome a great friend of the podcast, Melissa Young, the National Manager of Dive Sales at Sandals Resorts. Melissa, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking time today to come and chat with us.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
So I know we've known each other for how many years now?
I don't care to count anymore because it's been 10 for me with Sandals. So
okay, so tell the listeners a little bit about what exactly you do, because the National Manager of Dive Sales is a very, very strong title, but tells us nothing.
Yeah, so I am basically the resident mermaid of Unique Vacations. All I do is talk about scuba diving, try to promote scuba diving, and try to get new or avid scuba divers to our resorts to experience our fully inclusive and comprehensive scuba diving program.
Ooh, you mentioned fully inclusive. So, obviously a 208 travel agency, we sell the world. We like to take advantage of a lot of the great programs and really the unique aspects of all of the resorts. Since you work at Sandals, can you share with us a little bit about what exactly, is included? Because is it included or is it kind of included?
We get that question a lot, actually, because when you have some resorts that say all-inclusive, there's still some things that might be an add-on or anything like that. With Sandals and Beaches Resorts, scuba diving is fully included if you are already a certified diver, meaning you get 2 tanks of air on every eligible dive day. It's guided, it's scheduled. No, you're not taking tanks out and, planning your own dive and going off on a shore dive. We're going to take you out, because our instructors, our dive masters are local to the island. So they're going to take you to their favorite locations, all of those dive destinations, and actually show you things. So you'll get underwater and you'll see things. So bring a camera. But we're also including your equipment and all of that. So you don't have to bring your own equipment. We've got Scuba Pro partnerships. We've got Deep Blue partnerships. Like we're literally having everything there on site for you for not another penny out of your pocket.
That makes me really happy because, like I said, like as a scuba diver, you want to be able to take advantage of it. But, now I need to rent a BC. Now I need to rent the weights. Now I need to rent all this other stuff. Whenever I go to Sandals, it's great. I call it the ultimate diving vacation because you show up and you go, yes, I'd like to go tomorrow. And here's my room number. I wear a size large. Thank you. And then I go back to the pool and go drink and eat my face off. So I love the Sandals program. Now, being up in Idaho, we don't have a lot of Caribbean level of diving. What makes a Caribbean dive so unique, and why should people, try to make sure that they take advantage of it when they come down?
Diving in the Caribbean is second to none. I mean, you've got this incredible visibility. A lot of times when we're in those Caribbean islands, you're getting 80 plus feet of visibility. You become a spoiled diver like me, who's an 80-80 diver. I like to be in 80-degree water at 80 feet. So you're not having to worry about a dry suit like up there or additional certifications of that kind. It's easy diving. Typically in like the Eastern Caribbean type of regions, you're going to get a lot of really colorful corals and vibrant fish life and lots of healthy, happy reefs. I mean, if you want to go like me and you want to do some shark dives, you're going to find that in the Bahamas areas. Just have some fun getting to see different ecosystems and rebuilding some of those ecosystems, which is phenomenal about the Caribbean with all of the Adopt the Blues through Patty and all of their ecosystems that we're kind of rebuilding, the coral restoration projects that are happening. You could take a part of it in the Caribbean.
No, I absolutely love the fact that you guys are actually taking care of the places that you guys play at. You mentioned certifications. Is there any unique certifications that I have to be able to go down to dive? Or, if I'm sitting on the couch and I look and I go, oh my God, that's so amazing, I want to take advantage of it. Can I get scuba certified at Sandals?
Absolutely. You can even start at home. So we are a full certified PADI center. So we're 5-star PADI Dive Center, which means we do all of the certifications right there on site. It is an additional cost. That's where the difference comes into play of if you're already certified, your diving is complimentary. If you're not certified, we start that certification, and Jay knows all about this. So he's going to pull that into the reservation for you so you have it ready to go. So it's like you don't pay for it when you get on resort because it's already built into that reservation. So we do the full PADI course book of certifications. I like to explain the certifications as kind of the actual cupcake when you're baking. All of those ingredients go into it. And then we also have the PADI course book of specialties. So the little special sprinkles and icing that, makes your cupcake look fabulous just by getting more experiences that you like. So those conservations, and one of our favorites is, of course, the invasive species, the lionfish hunting that you can do at some of those select islands where it's allowable per the government. So that would be extra to be able to get that certification and do the lionfish hunting. But let me tell you, lionfish is delicious.
I actually got my advanced open water at not a Sandals, but a Beaches, the sister resort for everyone. And it was really fun. They took us, I did my deep water dive, and the dive master pulled out an egg and did the little egg crack. And then we could like poke at it and everything else. And it was phenomenal. It was, really great because, I know a lot of clients of mine have gone down there and they've been nervous, right? Like, oh man, this has got to be a scuba diver's paradise. Like there's people that go scuba diving all the time, such as myself. I really want to compliment the teams down there for making everyone, regardless of skill level, really comfortable being able to go down there, whether it's your first time and, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can clear my ears well enough to, some of the OGs like Melissa that are like, I just need a tank and jump off the side of the boat. They really do a great job of separating those groups out and taking out multiple groups on the same boat to make sure everyone's comfortable.
Yep. And I mean, I did most of my certifications with Sandals. So I came into Sandals as an already certified diver, as an open water diver. And then I've advanced through my advanced into my rescue. I'm actually working on my dive master now to be able to teach some of these. And we can do that all through our Sandals resorts. And I will tell you that there is no pressure when you're doing a certification with our resorts, either Sandals or Beaches. We always go at your pace and at your level. It's as one of our GMs calls it, he goes, it's a transference of confidence from the instructor to the diver. So we want to make sure that you are connected and you're comfortable, and it's a little bougie at that point, but we take our time. I mean, we did our rescue diver a couple of years ago, and thank goodness we have some of the most amazing business development managers who are certified as well, because we got to have one play the victim, and we had to throw her over our shoulders and carry her out, and we got her as close as possible to the beach, and I'm kneeling down to gently put her down, and we both fall backwards, and the instructor's right there to catch her. We're all laughing. It's all on video. It's fabulous.
As a friend of the podcast, I think we're going to need to see this video so we can broadcast it out. I don't know who the business development manager is, but we're going to take full advantage of any sort of embarrassing footage of people having fun.
I'm pretty sure it's already on my social media.
You've mentioned a couple of times some of the things that are included with a Sandals dive vacation, or as one of the business development managers, shout out to Sandra, vacation with a side of dive. What makes it unique, and what is, what kind of pieces do we have to put together in order to be able to take advantage of this program down at the resort?
So when you come on resort, we just need to see your certification card, basically your license to dive. We need to see your last logged dive date, because there are some timeline periods that come into play, a 6 months or an 18 months since your last dive, that might require some little extra pieces. And then, of course, most important piece is that medical questionnaire. And we've moved to more of an online version. So we have iPads on the resorts where you're clicking through that medical questionnaire. But if you need a doctor's clearance in order to dive, we always recommend, and Jay's going to back me up on this, that you go to your at-home doctor, because it's easier to just get that clearance and bring that note on resort with you so you don't miss out on any of those dive days, because you can sign up once you check in and get a room number. You can go down to the Aqua Center, register for your next day of diving.
Yeah, we talk all of our clients that are interested in doing scuba. We make sure all the paperwork's done. It's just like everything else, right? Like, we spoke with Miss Diane Holland from the Jamaica Tourist Board. We talked about the C5 custom forms that we have
Mhm.
you take care of before you get to the airport, before
Right.
you get on the plane. This is just one more piece of the services that we provide at 208 Travel Agency to really make your vacation as smooth as possible. We talk about it all the time as, we take the stress on so you don't have to worry about it, because vacations are supposed to be fun. So, I'm really glad that you guys went to that online availability. It's even easier when you get on if you don't get a chance to do it, or if it's a last minute change of heart.
Mhm.
It's really a great program. And the iPads are super easy. No more half soggy, wrinkled pieces of paper you're trying to fill out, and
I
people
mean,
aren't
we
looking
don't
around.
we don't accept tips at the swim up bar. So who wants to be fishing soggy singles out of swimsuits? We're not doing that with dive paperwork.
No, I totally give it. Okay, so I do have to ask, because you've had 10 years with Sandals. You've been to almost all of the resorts. I think maybe you're missing St. Vincent, or have you gotten a chance to go down there yet?
I went before it opened.
Maybe. Okay, so I've been asking this to everyone.
Mhm.
What is your favorite on island excursion and why?
Hmm. So I've promoted this out to honestly to my own mother, who has become more outdoorsy in her retirement.
Oh,
Um, and I will say that I've also promoted it to my own at-home doctor for her honeymoon. And that would be the Soufriere catamaran tour in St. Lucia. So you get on this catamaran, you go down to Soufriere, you step off the catamaran, you get on a little transfer. It takes you through a cocoa plantation, and you have lunch. You figure out and learn how the cocoa is made there.
oh
Then they
wow.
take you to the mud baths. So the sulfur baths at the base of that volcano. You can walk up to see the volcano too. You soak in the mud baths and relax everything. We stopped by a waterfall when we
Oh
did it
wow.
as well. So we got that. We got the waterfall. They took us by the Piton. So I have a fabulous picture that is the background of my tablet. Has been for probably 6 or 7 years, of Gros Piton and Petit Piton there in Soufriere. And then you get back on the catamaran and you stop at one of my favorite dive sites, which is Fairyland. And it's a shallow site, so you can snorkel it. And
Oh
it's
wow.
bright and vibrant and happy fish. And then they start serving the rum punch and the music plays and everybody's dancing on the hammocks of the catamaran as you sail back. So it's an all-day event, but it is a lot of everything on that island.
It's like a excursion tapas.
Yep.
Just a little piece here and there all the way through. Okay, so you mentioned what you said was your favorite dive site in St. Lucia. So we're going to take that one and we're going to move it to the side. And now I'm going to ask you for your favorite dive site. Remind me how many dive sites Sandals has.
Over 240.
Okay, so you've got 240 different options here. Give me two. Give me two.
Two. Let's see.
Two.
I really love Pumpkin Patch in Nassau, Bahamas, because of all of the orange corals that are really,
wow.
really bright that are around there. I mean, you're always escorted along the dive as well. So it's really happy, healthy reefs in a really easy to get to destination.
So I don't need to try to jump off the boat and then go, well, I think I'm supposed to be heading this way. There's a guide that will take me where I want to go.
Exactly. And yes, we always plan our own dives, and we have our dive computers if you have your own type of thing but it's really leisurely when you're diving with Sandals and Beaches, because those local dive guides know exactly where they are and where everything is hiding. I mean, we've had dive guides that are like, hey, come here, look at this. And you're just looking at what looks like this big piece of coral, but in the little hole is an octopus.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, yeah, that's Harry and Ron. They hang out here. And they've named them. So I really love Pumpkin Patch there in Nassau. And then probably one of my other favorite sites is the Molinare Sculpture Park in Grenada. And that has a whole history in and of itself with, the hurricane that came through years ago and rebuilding the ecosystem. They just added 24 new sculptures. So there's over 50 of them now. It's
Wow.
really cool to go and see and watch. And Snorkelers can do that site. Divers can do that site. It's, 15 to 20 feet. So you're in pretty much a safety stop the whole dive. But it's even great for snuba. So that combination of snorkeling and scuba, kind of your gateway to get you into scuba diving.
I'm glad that you brought up snuba, because that was actually, I've got my list of questions I wanted to make sure to ask you, and that's actually down here towards the bottom, but let's talk about it now. Tell me about snuba. I know we've got beaches resorts, which, like I said earlier, is the come one, come all, bring the kids, bring the adults, bring everyone. We've got a pirate water park, and we're going to have a dang good time. Snuba, tell us about snuba and kind of what it is for those folks that don't know.
So snuba, SNUBA, is pretty much snorkeling, advanced snorkeling, and then using the scuba diving equipment in some sense.
So they really just took snuba and scuba and just slammed the words together.
Yep, we're very creative.
So, love it.
You're using the scuba regulator. You're using a 30-foot hose that connects to your air tank, which is floating on a little boat above you. You're also able to use weights so that you can dive down a little bit deeper, because we're more naturally buoyant in saltwater anyway. So we need a little bit of weight to help us stay down. We offer the snuba. It's called Snuba Do for the kids as young as age 4, as long as they can swim. So 4 to 7, they do Snuba Do, which they kind of stay on the surface. It's, again, advanced snorkeling using that regulator. And then at 8, they can either start going into the full snuba, where they can dive down and they learn those skills, or they can do our PADI Bubble Maker or our PADI SEAL Team programs in the pool until they turn 10 and they can actually get certified, like your kids.
I'm cheating a little bit because I do know about snuba. I'm just not very good at explaining it, because I'm like, there's like a tank of air, and then there's a hose, and then my son disappeared, and I sat on top, drinking some water, talking with the crew. So I'm glad you're a much better explainer of the program than I am. So thank you for that. Sure. But yeah, my son actually went through it. It's a great way. From a parent standpoint, your kids are snorkeling around. They think it's the greatest thing ever. They see mom and dad going out on these dives, and of course they're interested. They want to do what mom and dad do. Right. So, it's a great way to kind of bridge between, well, do they want to snorkel? Are they going to get too freaked out with scuba? Scuba's a lot, for a little kid. You've got straps and this and buoyancy and weights and everything else. Yep. It was a great and let's be honest, very cost-effective option before paying for a full PADI certification, which my son did at Beaches, Turks and Caicos, and now frankly won't shut up about diving. So
we love it. We've got a new torchbearer. I will take him.
He was like looking on the iPad. He goes, Dad, I think I need a dive computer. And I'm like, you need to calm down. Dad just got his first one like 2 years ago. Like you need a little bit of time, a little bit of lemonade stand money in order to be able to do that. So, and then my daughter now, she just turned 8 and of course wants to be like everyone else in the family. We're looking to do it, I think this summer or early fall. She's looking to go ahead and do the same thing. So we're going to start her off at snuba. Make sure this is something she wants to do, and that's, we talk a lot about, our clients and everything that are super nervous and hesitant about it. Go out and practice a little bit, make sure it's an investment. It's a lifelong skill, which is great. But there are some technical aspects of it that people do sometimes get a little uncomfortable with. And that's totally fine because once again, it's included. So it's like the drink at the bar. Ooh, I don't like this one. Get another one. Yeah. I don't like diving. Go snorkeling. Glass bottom boat tour. You've got plenty of options when you're down there, all included. So, okay. So what are your pro tips for people that are coming down to the island? And you can break it up into experienced and inexperienced divers, but what are your pro tips, the things that you make sure you either do or pack even? We've got a big packing list that we send out for divers as well. What are your recommendations on that?
I am always going to recommend that you pack some kind of shirt, t-shirt, rash guard, something that you're comfortable wearing under that BCD, because if you're using our BCDs, it's required. So I have all of these brands, local brands, US based, that I absolutely love, and I dive in all of their outerwear basically. And then I typically, even though I have my own BCD, I have my own regulator, I have fins, I have a mask, I have snorkels, I have my dive computer. I'm really only packing things that fit in my carry-on when I'm coming to one of our resorts. I pack my regs, I pack my dive computer, my mask, my snorkel. If my fins fit in my carry-on, great, I'm bringing them. But we've moved into, and we're starting to bring on the Scuba Pro Go fins, which have the adjustable heel strap. So that's new as of last year, making it nice and easy for those wonky footed or those who are uncomfortable wearing a full foot fin. Those are being implemented on all of our resorts. So you don't have to pack the bulky stuff. You can just show up and say, I've got this, this, and this. I need, like you said, I need a large BCD and this size fins, and off you go.
I was joking about the large.
We don't judge. We don't judge here at Sandals and Beaches.
A little too much of the all-inclusive experience at Sandals and Beaches, and I might have graduated to an XL.
Congratulations.
But what's funny is you mentioned the carry-on thing. I actually measured the inside of my carry-on and then went to my local dive shop and basically took all the fins out of the packages and measured them. To make sure that I could get them in there, because I believe the term you used is wonky foot. I do have a Sasquatch style foot, and so it's really wide, and so I ended up having to make sure that I got those. But like I said, the crews are absolutely amazing. If you don't want to bring all of that stuff, if you just want to bring a rash guard, heck, you could even buy a rash guard in the gift shop. It says Sandals right across as your memento for the rest of the times that you're going to go diving. It's fantastic. It really is an all-inclusive experience, and it's really really amazing, especially with the diving that's available in the Caribbean. I love your phrase, the 80-80.
Yeah.
80 degree, was it 80 degree water, 80 degree of, or excuse me, 80 feet of visibility.
Yep.
That's amazing. Okay, so we've got some stuff coming up. We've got St. Vincent that just opened. Everyone's asking me for information. Can you speak a little bit to the diving of St. Vincent, what you thought of it? I'm sure you got in the water. You got in the water, right?
I was able to snorkel. I was only there for 2 nights, so I wasn't able to get any diving in, but one of our Aqua Center managers from a very popular other Sandals resort has been doing the opening and onboarding the new team. And of course it's full of locals. So they know all of these amazing dive sites. The difference here with St. Vincent and the Grenadines is that it's a volcanic island. So it's more so referred to as muck diving, not necessarily that it's dirty or it's dark or anything like that, but it's black sand everywhere. So it can be kicked up very easily. So I would recommend always, having your weights correct and your buoyancy figured out before you get in the water. But there is one site that I cannot wait to do. It's called the Bat Cave. And it's just this giant, break in the mountain, and it goes all the way down, and you're maybe 1.5 meters wide that you're diving through with all of the coral kind of coming out towards you on the sides. And it's got some really incredible photos that I've seen of it with those over unders that everybody loves and tries to take. So I'm super excited for that. But you're going to see darker sand. You're going to see maybe weirder creatures. It's the critter capital of the Caribbean, according to the Minister of Tourism of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He came and spoke with us early on in the year to give us a little more information about that. The boat docks right on site. So we have the pier out there that's available, or it may come right up onto the beachfront, which is how we loaded onto the catamaran excursion that we did. But everything is right there, right on site. And the team is going to be incredible in showing you everything that you could possibly see. So bring some extra lights, bring your camera for those macro photos and those little animals, little critters.
So, and just confirming, muck diving is referring to the black sand. Muck diving is not referring to the mouth of the Mississippi River visibility, correct? Okay. Right. Just for clarification, it's a terrible term. We've got to come up with something better.
No, I've seen videos of some of the guests who were there on the opening and doing the diving, and they've got 80-foot visibility, you
Love
know?
it.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so this is the part of the conversation where I want to feel pretty.
Okay.
Why would you personally recommend using a travel advisor to book a trip, including diving, down to a Sandals or Beaches resort? Go ahead and feel free to lay it on pretty thick. I'm feeling very ugly today.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but like Jay had mentioned earlier, we've known each other for a while. And the reason we do that know each other for a while is because he used to work here. And he has that background of all of these different destinations. He's experienced it. He understands it. He knows the individual people on the resort. So the GMs, the sales managers, he's got personal connections with them all that you don't get if you try to do it yourself. The other side of that is the Sandals website looks fabulous. It looks great. It's pretty and beautiful and gorgeous, and it all looks the same because we want you to use Jay as your travel advisor because he can tell you the differences between all of these. I mean, you go on, you see pretty white sand, you see fabulous models. Nobody looks like that on resort. But you've got all of these reviews and who, honestly, who puts up a happy review? A lot of times it's great and wonderful, and I told all my friends about it. It's word of mouth. But you have somebody who knows these destinations and who has experienced them and has brought his family to them. So why not use that expertise when it costs you nothing extra? You're getting that benefit.
Love it. Thank you very much. As a matter of fact, I actually have WhatsApp messages sitting in my phone right now from a couple of the sales managers down on resorts because we're taking care of some things for some clients, giving them a couple of surprises and a couple of amenities that they didn't even know was coming. Shh,
Nice.
don't tell anybody. Melissa, thank you so much for coming on. As always, it's a pleasure. Thank you for dropping everything and coming and hanging out with us for a little bit. I promised you 30 minutes. We're at 27 and a half minutes right now. So I am actually on time for something for once. So Melissa, is there anything else you want to say about a Sandals or Beaches vacation before we get out of here?
We just can't wait to see you and welcome you onto some of our fabulous resorts. You've got plenty of options. Jay's got the insider scoop on each of them. So use his specialties.
Awesome. For everybody out there listening, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out. I'm Jay Noller. 208 Travel Agency is ready for you. And on behalf of our family of travel advisors across the nation, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the islands.